Well, hello there, winos, and welcome back to the #1 David Phinney fan club show. Or at least that's what my channel probably seems like at this point. I think I've done a number of Dave Phinney wines, and if you're a regular wino, then you know that I have a borderline unhealthy fascination with his wines. All of his labels are super cool, and his wines just have such great stories. So today's yet another Dave Phinney wine. This is E7 in the Locations series of Dave Phinney's lineup of wines. I am really excited to see what the quality level of this wine is like, especially considering the price and all the thought that goes into it. More on the story and a review of this wine on today's Wine Lab. Hey, thanks for joining me. And before we get started today, if you want to be a winoceros, hit subscribe on this channel to become a wino today. I'll put out new videos every single Saturday, so be sure to hit that bell icon to stay notified for more great wine content. Okay, so you can go back and check out my reviews of Dave Phinney's other wine. If you're not familiar with who Dave Phinney is, he is the mind responsible for such wines as the original Prisoner blend, and he also did the Orin Swift label of wines, including wines like Papillon. I'll leave links for all of them in the description here, including Prisoner Wine Company's Unshackled and also Orin Swift's 8 Years in the Desert, or 7 years, one of those. But there's a number of these videos. I'll go back, find all of them, and leave links in the description. But today, I really wanted to check out this lineup. Okay, so here is the story behind this wine. So Dave Phinney has always been more about getting the most out of the varietal and making that perfect blend rather than focusing on vineyard and vintage. He really wants to express a varietal. Now, in very much the same fashion, this is a wine that is non-vintage as well as from multiple vineyards in this region. And this region in particular is E for España. Taking a closer look at the label here, so it is very, very simple, just the E signifying Spain there, and there is the Spanish flag colors right there on the side, and that's really about it. It's more in the back that you get a little bit more of the story. So E7 is the proper name of the wine, and this is the Locations series. We hope you enjoy our wine made with grapes from the finest locations in Spain, and there is the signature from Dave Phinney winemaker. So this is a Spanish red wine, actual product of Spain. Simple black capsule. Now, this is one of many in this series. There's also the F7, which is from France, and then there's the CA, which is aptly from California. Oh, I'm just noticing this cork has a little date. I don't know if that's, maybe that's not a date. No, maybe it's not a date, because I know this is not supposed to be vintage. But the other side has the locations on there. Now, in typical Phinney fashion, this wine is non-vintage and non-vineyard specific. The difference with this series, Phinney's goal is to express the specific terroir of Spain, and with the other wines in the series, those specific terroirs, where F is the absolute best expression of France, CA is the absolute purest and best expression of California, and today's E is Phinney's best expression of Spanish terroir. Now, let's get a look at the region of Spain on the map. This is one of the old world regions, a classic winemaking region, and it's very much known for Tempranillo. Tempranillo is the most cherished wine in this region that goes into wines such as Rioja. It's got a nice sort of strawberry and pepper flavor, good acidity, and decent tannin as well. They're also known in the region for Garnacha, or Grenache, sort of a lighter version of Tempranillo, as well as Monastral, better known as Mourvedre. And our blend today is exactly those classic varietals. This is a blend of Tempranillo, Garnacha, Monastral, and Carignana, or Carignan. All right, in the glass, this is really a nice color here. Sort of looks like a bit pomegranate. Looks a little bit almost like dried ruby red fruit in there. Slight lighter color on the rim and moving into sort of a brick red ruby color there. And as I turn my glass, I'm not really getting any staining on the glass so far that I can see, and I would say that it's about medium viscosity there as well. You can see those tears starting to form on the glass. Okay, on the nose here, you know, one thing that I love about old world wines is that the first thing you get is not fruit, and that's really the difference between New World and Old World wines. Old World wines finish with earthiness and really exemplify that earth, whereas New World wines really finish and exude fruitiness of that varietal. This has a medium intensity of aromatics, pretty big nose on there. Okay, I am getting what I will call a rustic sweetness here. Think like sweet tobacco leaf. That's sort of like this spice, kind of savoriness, right? Maybe a little smokiness, yet it's sweet, right? Think like dried tea leaf in there and dried fruits like dried strawberry, dried cherries. So again, this sort of rustic sweetness, almost dry sweetness, if that makes sense. Also a little dry soil in there as well. Yeah, there's a little grilled meat, and I think that about covers it. Let's get it on the palate. Ooh, okay. You know what this does very, very well? This hits me in all the right places on the palate. You know, that's one thing Dave Phinney does with all his wines. He makes them so gulpable. They are just wines that you can just swish and they feel so good. Upon entry, this is very rich and luscious, and I will even use the word smooth. It's almost like oily, almost buttery on the palate. Really, really pretty. And then those tannins show up on the finish just to give you a little bit of chewy sort of savoriness. This would hold up super, super well to spiced meats, and I'm thinking like spicy sausage or something along those lines. On the palate, I would add, it definitely has that like spice factor that's a little bit along the lines of like cigar box, and as far as fruit, I would also add plum. This has definitely gone through full malolactic fermentation. It is just rich and soft and luscious. I'm not getting a lot in the way of oak, but definitely that full mallow for that buttery mouthfeel. And a little finish of spice. This is damn good. This is so damn good. You can quote me there. Let's see, you know, it's $17. This is a $17 wine, and that's the thing. This entire series was made by Phinney to be in that sort of $15 to $20 price range, most of them about $17, and they are so good. They absolutely express, at least this one absolutely expresses that sense of place. I get Spain out of this wine, and that's phenomenal. Now, granted, a lot of Spanish wines can be inexpensive as well. In fact, a lot of old world wines can be pretty killer. Bordeaux's in the $12 price range. If you got a good producer, they can be really good. But to have such a big name that sells wines that are typically in the $30 to $60 plus price range, for him to make a $17 wine, I had to see what this was like, and I have not been disappointed. Let me know in the comments what you winos think of Phinney's E and the other wines in the Location series. Let me know also if you want me to give those a review. I think I would like to check out that F and the CA. There's even, there's the NZ as well. That is his New Zealand Sauv Blanc. So let me know if you want me to review any of those, and I'd love to hear what do you winos think of these wines and other Phinney wines. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, please leave me a like. That helps so much. Don't forget to share this video with your wine friends. And until next time, winos, drink safe and drink well. Cheers.